Let's get a quick look at the Saints offense.
And what a tough environment to roll into. On the road, playing one of the better teams in the league, obviously, because this is the playoffs. So what do teams talk about? Bringing their own momentum, bringing their own energy on the road, because you know you won't get any from the home crowd.
Back to the ground, it's Kamara. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. They go play action with Wilson. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. Now Will Lutz, who went to college a stone's throw from here at Georgia State, comes on for the field goal attempt. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And that is no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. These playoff games have a tendency to be tight. You have to wonder if that missed field goal could haunt them later.
Yeah, we're always looking for the key plays, right? The ones that we're going to magnify. Usually those happen in the second half or later in the game. This might be the key play of the game showing up here in the first half.
And now back out comes the offense. They come in as a 3 seed, and this will very likely the last home game of the season for them, even if they win this one. But while they wanted one of those top 2 spots, they're still in a pretty good position.
They are, and let's face it, any team that gets into the playoffs, as far as I'm concerned, they're in a good position because they're doing what the rest of the league wants. A lot of people are sitting at home watching them, but you made a good point. Everyone is vying for one of the top 2 spots. You get an opening, you get a week off, don't have to play that opening week, and then you get a chance to collect yourself and see how everything else falls. But all in all, number 3 spot, they'll take it and run with it.
Yeah, maybe they get a win here and get some momentum.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field.
Ready.
Operating from the gun. Starkey, and he hits Drake. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Go set. 18 Gator. I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over. Hit it.
On 1st down, Starkey, man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 14 yards there on a Falcon 1st down.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Here we go. Watch the pass.
This one caught by Isabella. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
4 down.
On 2nd down now. It's Reeves, and they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down in the backfield. Calling a loss of 2 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
A draw play is called because you think you've either found a gap or you're using the aggressiveness of the defensive line against itself. Not on that play. Totally controlled the middle of the field. Offense had nowhere to go with the ball.
Come on, set. 70, Indy.
Focus, defense, focus.
Get it.
On 3rd down, Starkey. This one caught by Ridley. And he will not make it to that imaginary yellow line as they get him to the ground at about the 23. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And his kick is good. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. Every possession in the postseason magnified. And look, it's just the opening drive. They didn't get the touchdown they wanted, but at least they got on the board.
They got on the board. They've got their home crowd into it as well. And remember, in the playoffs, the game slows down a little bit, so every point is precious.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Now this offense about ready to take over again. They just did manage to sneak into the playoffs as a 6th seed, so it's a tough road ahead. They would need to win 3 games on the road in January, but there's 20 other teams who wouldn't mind being on that road.
You're exactly right about that, but your point about how daunting this is well taken, because it all depends on their mindset now. How do you break it down so that you're not looking at this whole big road and say to yourself, we got no shot? You break it down to this game right now, win that one, then worry about the rest of them after that.
And that's exactly right, and the staff told us that. They've been focusing with the players on don't look ahead, but that's hard to do sometimes, is it not?
It is hard to do because the ultimate goal is to do what? Is to win a Super Bowl. So you have to look ahead a little bit, but you make sure you focus on the game at hand.
On 2nd and 12, Wilson, he's got his man, it's Andrews. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards the pickup there.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Mike 59. Switch.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. They go play action now. Wilson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Von Miller. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. They win zone blitz. They're obviously successful. What makes the zone blitz successful?
Well, just go ahead and let's break the term down. Zone means they're going to play zone behind them in coverage, not man-to-man. But the zone blitz, why it's confusing to offenses? Because oftentimes defensive ends or defensive tackles will drop back into coverage, and linebackers or safeties will usually fill that gap and blitz in their spot, messing up the blocking responsibilities.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Here comes the Saints punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10.
On the ready. 54, right there. 54, Mike. Get that quarterback at all costs. Shoot.
Off play action. Starkey. Into the hands of the tight end. This is Jordan Thomas. A nice pickup there. 18 yards. First down, Falcons.
I feel for some of these guys nowadays because it is so tough to be able to run with these tight ends. Their speed, their elusiveness, especially when they run across the field. Because you're not just running with him, you're trying to run through some traffic as well.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Let's go.
From the gun, Starkey, and that is incomplete. The intended target was Calvin Ridley, and now it's 2nd down. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. 2nd and 10. toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Andy Isabella was the intended target, and that takes us from second to third down. To throw on third down, Starkey. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Reeves. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 35. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Defense.
A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
If there was one area that the coach emphasized in our pregame meeting, it was red zone offense.
In a sense, I got from it, and I think you did as well, they weren't real happy with how they were executing previously, so they put a lot of time and effort into it because getting points is paramount. Doesn't matter what you do otherwise, don't leave the red zone without putting points on the board.
Looking to throw. Starkey. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. From 3 yards out, and the Falcons push further out in front. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself, no reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. A drive that time of 6 plays, and the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. They've been a come-from-behind team all year. They'll need to do it again as they trail early in this wild card game. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
No game on this defense, no game. Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. A good pickup there at 22.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports.
We got 4. Check, check. No. It's our field. It's our field. Hey, it's our house.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson, a short throw caught by Andrews. 2 yards, good enough for a first. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Kamara. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And pretty good running as he'll be close to a first down at the Falcons' 28. The Saints on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. Yeah, boy, from up here, I don't think Johnson got there. No, he did not. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. Remember, that was less than a yard. That was not a full yard. That defense, they were having none of it.
Yeah, the surge the offensive line was seeking actually occurred on the other side of the ball. They reestablished the line of scrimmage and stuffed them.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
This fielded at the 2. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
On 2nd down, it's Reeves. He'll have a first down past the 40, and he'll cut it out to the sideline. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Off the play fake. Starkey. Throw left side complete. That's Reeves. 10 yards there and a first down for the Falcons.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On the counter, it's Smith. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Touchdown, Falcons. Ito Smith, 36 yards. And the Falcons push further out in front. And they drew up the counter there. It worked. They're glad they drew up the counter.
And a lot of times what you're trying to do is just simply get the defense moving in one direction. It doesn't take much. Even one step's enough. Get them going in one direction and then cut back against the grain and let your running back finish it off and get the work done.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 17-3. So that drive, 4 plays. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And we focus on Duke Johnson now. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? A good game there on first down. That run will get them 7 up to the 32-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. A 10th carry for Kamara.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
The pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
What? Waiting. 59. Let's get the ball.
On 2nd and 12, Wilson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Saints on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7. Throwing is Wilson. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And this won't be enough. A good secure tackle, and they stop him a few yards shy at the 46.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the 2nd quarter.
Offense.
So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot, but they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
Now a dump off here complete. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
That ball complete to Isabella. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Throw left side, complete to Isabella. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
30 base.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 45-yard line.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And he gets this one to Ridley, complete. 10 yards there and a 1st down for the Falcons. This quarterback now 14 out of 17, 82%, and it's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Starkey. This is Donnell with a grab. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the 1st. Off play action. Starkey. That's going to be caught. 23 yards, the final tally.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
I'd have to say they're feeling like they are in rhythm right now. Things are in sync, aren't they? Team's winning, got a nice little margin on the scoreboard, completing some passes, and they just completed another one for a 1st down there to the tight end.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Looking to throw. Starkey. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins home.
2nd and 1. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Jordan Thomas, the one he was looking for, but now it's 3rd and goal. So can this New Orleans defense stand tall again? 3rd and goal. Back to throw. Starkey under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
You see me? You see me? They can't
2 minutes to play here in this 1st half of the NFL playoffs. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times. But as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
And he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? Wilson on the check down. He finds Kamara. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It'll be a Saints 1st down on a pickup of 13. Wide open receiver, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Wilson will throw again. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Andrews. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. To throw again is Wilson. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. That play gets him 6 yards and sets them up with a 1st and goal. To throw is Wilson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. James Washington was the intended target, but it'll be 2nd and goal. Throwing again here, Wilson. And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. 6 plays got him down here. This is play number 7, 3rd and goal. From the shotgun, Wilson. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. James Washington, as the first half is winding down, and the Saints make some inroads here to that deficit. Until that late score here in the 2nd quarter, they'd only had the field goal, so that's just big to see that football get into the end zone.
Yeah, and when you look at the scoreboard now, nothing seems out of reach. They've been outplayed in the first half, but when the clock hits zeros as they head into the half, you know what I do as a head coach? I tell my team to sprint to the locker room to show that we've got the momentum and show that we're right back in this game.
Wilson's pass complete to James Washington. Touchdown, New Orleans.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Lutz good on the extra point, and that will get them 1 closer. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. This is the 4th and final game here on this wild card weekend. We'll get back out to you guys in just a moment. But first, let's take a look back to yesterday's NFC.
You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. One of these 2 teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here. That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
So good coverage there defensively as it looks like they'll force a punt on this opening drive of the 3rd.
Well, let's coach them up a little bit from right here in the booth. That's exactly what they needed to do. They need to start stringing together some stops turning the ball over back to their offense and trying to get back into this game.
Yeah, a couple scores down, but they can eat into that quickly with a nice drive here on the other side. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Coming back out to take the field, Mark Andrews and company. And we roll the highlights. 5 catches. Schematically, what do you do to stop a tight end like him?
You have so many different options, whether you want to play 3 deep zone, 2 deep zone. One of the ones that I think works really well is what they call 2-man. 2 guys deep on the half-field marks, usually the safeties, but you have someone underneath that plays man-to-man against the tight end. Keep him from finding those gaps and those holes where he can sit down, establish himself, and show himself to the quarterback and provide an easy target.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Emmanuel Ogbah able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Von Miller picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Here comes the Saints punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
15 yards, 1st down, Atlanta.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that 1st half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Tackle there by Alex Anzalone.
A gain of 2. Brings up 2nd and 8.
To throw on 2nd down. Starkey, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Looking to throw. Starkey able to find Isabella. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Here we go. 15-1. 15-1.
They'll run on 1st down. Reeves. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 10 yards there and a 1st down for the Falcons. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
70, Indy. 47. Nice, sweetheart.
Staying on the ground. This time it's Smith. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Hey, check Mike 54. Mike 54. Hey, what's the ball?
On second down now, it's Reeves. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
It's a 5-receiver set, 3 to the left, 2 to the right.
Let's put that team on the front.
On 3rd and 2, Starkey keeps himself upright. And that will be taken in by Ridley for a Falcon touchdown. 4 yards on the touchdown grab. And the Falcons push further out in front. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. They run it again with Kamara. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw is Wilson, operating from the gun. He's got his man. It's Andrews. Yeah, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the 3rd.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
Ready. 60 outlaw. Watch 54.
In your face.
Snap.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. It's complete. The tight end, Donnell. And he is going to get the first down, it looks like, as he's up to the 12. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
At first glance, I thought he just used his size in order to win the route, but he also had a little subtle move in there as well. Made the defender think he was going one direction and was able to track the ball in another.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Starkey, and the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Looking to go back to Thomas again, and that'll bring up 2nd down. On the draw, this is Smith. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Brandon, come game film time, that'll be a clip and save on how to play the draw. Clogged everything up in the middle, and as he broke out to the right, everybody got a piece of the action on the tackle.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Operating from the gun, Starkey. That's complete to Smith. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And out will come the offense as they take over. Alvin Kamara and the Saints set to start their next drive. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
Gary and Conley, the one to bring him down. Again, it's Kamara. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They go play action now. Wilson. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 25 yards that time.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10. Down at the 33. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Make it now 3 tackles for a loss in this game, 1 for each quarter.
And for a guy who played defense in college, I can just tell you that he's feeling very satisfied right now by what he's doing. But he's elated because he knows what he's doing is helping his team win the game right now. Making some big-time plays, getting into the offense's backfield and spilling everything.
On 2nd and 12, Wilson. That's caught. It's Thomas. A very solid gain of 27. And at this stage, down in the 2nd half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Try to pound it in, Kamara. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 1 quarter remains in this NFC wild card matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They gotta have 6 here. It's 3rd and goal.
Heavy on the edges, heavy on the edges.
From the gun, it's Wilson. And it'll be intercepted. Isaiah Oliver with the INT. Thomas, the intended target.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
So out now comes the offense back onto the field. Can't officially call this a win for them yet, but it's looking good to move on to the divisional round. They'll be on the road, of course, as an underdog. But the age-old question, would you rather have the momentum they're going to have or sitting at home with a bye? I'm sure you'd probably rather have the bye.
You remember that conference call we had before the playoffs started? We were talking with some people in the industry and some of the coaches that are out there, and we kind of posed the same question. You know, if you're coming off of a game like this, you know, and you're taking on a team that had that open week, which way do you want to go? And you remember the answer they gave us? I want the better team.
Yeah,
all right?
yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
I get it. But I think there's a lot to having that momentum of having played versus coming off of that layoff because maybe you start a little bit slower. We see those upsets happen all the time.
On 2nd down, it's Reeves. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
You.
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
Game offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still 3rd down.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
Here I come again. Here I come again.
They'll keep it on the ground. Reeves. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. They had quite a hole to dig out of there on 3rd and long. Not able to get the first, but a pretty good-sized run.
A really good run, but how much confidence do you have in your next play call that you can sell to the head coach? Let's go get it on 4th down. Do you really have a play you believe in, or are you just hopeful? And you got to sell it to the big man before it gets called.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And possession will switch hands 1st and 10. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had a victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now Wilson. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans. Wilson now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Now this throw complete to Washington. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. This is complete to Michael Thomas. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. From 19 yards away. And the Saints get a bit closer. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Lutz will look to add the extra point. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. Now there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
On first down, it's Reeves. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Reeves. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll throw this out wide and complete it to Ridley. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
On 2nd down now. It's Reeves, and he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Now that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge 4th quarter stop? This one caught by Ridley. Needed more than 3, but that's all they got. And it's 4th down. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown.
Mike is 59. Mike is 59. Let's set a tone, fellas.
Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jackson. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a fourth quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Extra point attempt to come here. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Saints coming out now to take the field.
Stop your whining. Tight end left, tight end left. 4 down, 4 down.
Back to the air, Wilson after the pick six. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked by Darrell Worley. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. And on that one, with 6 defensive backs, did he need to be more careful throwing the football? I mean, I guess obviously in hindsight he did, but...
Yeah, hindsight, but even in foresight, when you got 6 defensive backs on the field, you just know you're going to get multiple coverages. You're never sure what you're going to see. But the biggest one is you don't have much reaction time for your receivers to go get the football because those guys, they're the best cover guys on the field. They go get it. And on that play, they took it the other way for 6 points.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 24. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Now this offense ready to head back out there. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Here's Wilson. From the gun, he'll throw. It's caught by Sanders. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Tight dog, tight dog, tight dog.
From the gun, Wilson. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. To throw again on second down, Wilson. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
Your trip is here.
The Saints on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Offense.
Rush in.
3rd and 1, you had the run-pass option. Now, not so much.
Yeah, it changes the play call, doesn't it? And that's probably a big reason why those offensive coordinators laminate their play sheets. You can't just rip them and tear them up when you're angry about something like that.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards. Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Here's Wilson. His throw caught at about the 5. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 12 more yards there and another first down. Wilson now. Operating from the gun. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. From 4 yards out. And the Saints make some inroads here to that deficit. Well, look, this is a team, Charles, they faced adversity all year long. They had to fight and claw to win that division. But they're putting it all together here in the wild card game.
It feels like a statement, doesn't it? An absolute statement game, a message to the top seeds. Overlook us at your own peril. We're pretty darn good.
Again, Wilson. He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. There's a great example right there.
2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. Oh, the Saints recovered it. New Orleans football. Well, that certainly makes things more interesting. You get the score, then you get the onside kick. A little uphill battle still, but a start.
It's not mission accomplished, but the plan is working. They're in a great spot right now, and the best part, they put the defense right back out on the field after having already scored.
Yeah, they've got the momentum here now. Now Wilson on first down.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Wilson throwing again. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 15-yard line. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Wilson. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And Kamara has it stripped. And the Falcons say they have it. They do. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through it, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground.
So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over.
Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Gary and Conley. Well, it wasn't always pretty, but the interception there, that means that they should get out of here with a victory.
Yeah, this is not a game that they're going to preserve for posterity on defense, but they did finish it off, didn't they? They did make the winning play to close things out. They'll take that one and head to the locker room.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
They'll run on 1st down. Reeves, and he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
Man, I got you. Ready?
Now it's Smith running right. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. On 3rd down, Starkey. And Thomas has it. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. And they take a knee.
Here we go. 50, plant.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 41-yard line.
Getting into the playoffs is one thing. Now they get to move on. Just 8 teams left.
The dream stays alive. Everyone's gunning for the Super Bowl. That's the ultimate. But you have to get there in incremental steps. One win today gets them 1 step closer.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Falcons here as we say so long from Atlanta.